This show is for everyone working at the coalface. Digital, business, marketing, social. This is At the Coalface with your host, Jason Greenwood. Right, so I just wanted to have a quick little chat, a fireside chat, if you will, with you guys about, I guess, where I've come from, how I got to be where I am, why you might want to listen to me, not why you should listen to me, why you might want to listen to me. A little bit of my background. I want to sort of give some history to why I decided to start doing these videos, why I decided to start making content, why I decided to carry on with some personal brand building efforts outside of my quote-unquote day job, I guess. I'm 41 years old. I know I don't look like it. I know I look a lot better than that, but I look a lot younger than that. No. So I guess I'm going back to my previous career, if you will. Before I ever got into digital, I worked in hospitality. So I'm originally from California. Was born in Southern California in a little city called Riverside. Born and raised there, and spent 21 years there. And then decided to make the shift to New Zealand with my family. So that's just a little bit of insight, I guess, of my background and my history. When I was working in the States, I worked in hospitality. I worked as a waiter at several restaurants. Claim Jumper restaurant was probably the quote-unquote most famous restaurant I worked at. But then when I came to New Zealand, we started a family. So I came with my sister and my parents. My grandfather was a New Zealander, a Kiwi. And so my family, my parents, my sister, myself, we came to New Zealand. We became dual citizens. So I'm a New Zealand and American citizen. And when we first came to New Zealand, we actually did a tourist business. So New Zealand has a huge tourist industry associated with it. And we imported four-wheel push bikes. So they were bicycles, basically, with canvas covers over the top that looked like a Flintstone car. Looked like the Flintstones car, basically a two-seater bicycle that looked like a little miniature vintage car, and everybody could bicycle on those. So when we moved to New Zealand, we imported some bikes from the States. We knew we wanted to sort of do something local. We wanted to own a business. So the family did that. I invested in that family business, and we ran that for a couple of years here. I decided to get out of the family business here and do something on my own. I went back to the only thing I really knew, which was hospitality. Went into restaurant management, started managing restaurants, and eventually the way that I got into digital it's a bit of a funny story, probably best saved for another episode. But she knew someone who owned a web hosting company who also did web development. Now you got to remember, this was very early nascent days of the internet, of e-commerce, of that sort of thing. So this company not only did web hosting, but they also had their own early cloud platform for e-commerce. So basically, you could sign up for their cloud hosted service. You could set up your e-commerce store, and you could go selling. We were also doing bespoke web development. This is in around 2001, 2002. So we're talking 15, 16 years ago. So there weren't a lot of e-commerce platforms or even CMS platforms existing in the marketplace. Well, this company did have both a CMS and an e-commerce platform. And so we also did web hosting for other platforms and applications, and so we did a lot of custom web development. And I was hired on really both for customer service as well as to help with scoping out of projects, and also to develop our web marketing services platform and all of the services, the managed services that would go along with that. So this was the early days. This was the Wild West of the internet. Open source commerce, or OS commerce, the e-commerce platform, came out not too long thereafter, and we started to sell some projects on that platform, and really realized, I guess, the early pain of e-commerce platforms and just how challenging some of those early open source projects were from a code maintenance standpoint and all that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to skip the boring bits, but basically we we did that, and I did that for over a year, about a year and a half. And then I decided, well, I'm helping all these businesses and these business owners to sell stuff online and to make a lot of money online. And a lot of them were making a lot of money online. And I decided, well, why wouldn't I want to do that for myself? And so a good friend of mine at the time, we decided that we would go into business together. And so he had a long-standing electronic sourcing background, and I obviously had a digital and web background or knowledge at this point, all of 1.5 years of it. And then we went into business together. So we both kept our day jobs to keep paying the bills, and then at night we established home-based offices, and we would work another full day when we got home. So we'd work 8 hours during the day or 9 hours, and then we'd come home and work another 8 hours. And so we would come home and we would package all of our products up, and we would maintain the website, and we would upload products to the website. We would maintain it, and we would. That's how we ran our business. And so I was doing all of the Google AdWords advertising. I was doing all of the organic SEO, and I was doing all of the standard tactics, the standard web marketing tactics at the time that were popular. Really, the only kind of tactics that were available at the time, actually. And so that's sort of how we got our start. We started importing and selling flash memory cards for digital cameras, and this was before smartphones or anything like that. So digital cameras were very, very popular at the time, or becoming very popular at the time, and memory cards were very, very expensive in New Zealand at that point. Basically only sold by big box electronics retailers and computer stores, really. It was a niche product. And they were very expensive. I mean, I remember the days when, a 32 megabyte memory card was $600. And then, 64 meg came out, and this is the days of smart media cards, and then compact flash came out, and all the variants of memory that came after that. And we were hugely successful. We imported directly, we warehoused locally, and then we shipped out overnight. And so customers could place their orders up to about 7 p.m. at night, and we would still get the orders out. And courier pickup was at 7 p.m. So we did that. We had overnight service New Zealand-wide, and we were one of the first companies in New Zealand to automate track and trace, so that transactional emails would have the link to their tracking number so they could follow it right to their door. So there was a lot of innovation we brought to our business, a lot of custom development that we did to create a really fantastic customer experience. We had a free phone number that anybody could call from anywhere in New Zealand, including a cell phone. And at the time, that was fairly groundbreaking. And so we had a lot of phone calls from people wondering what this memory thing was all about. And that's sort of how I got started with digital, I guess, was right from grassroots, very early on in the nascent early days of the internet. And I knew this internet thing was going to be big. I guess most people did, but I really knew it was going to be big. I knew it was going to absolutely impact and change the entire world, and I knew that was something I wanted to be involved with. It was very cutting edge. I'd always loved technology, and I wanted to see where this internet thing was really going to go and how I could be a part of it. So eventually, after about a year of running this business part-time from home, it got so big and so busy that one of us, between myself and my business partner, needed to quit our job and devote full time to it. So my business partner was making a heck of a lot more money than me at his day job, so I quit first. And so I established an office in Christchurch, New Zealand for us to operate from. And that was exciting times. Those were exciting days. Those were the heady days of the internet when it was pretty easy to grow fast if you knew what you were doing. A little bit of AdWords, a little bit of organic SEO, and Bob's your uncle. The business was just there for the taking. And we were growing, 100% year over year. Within 2 years of opening our virtual doors, we were doing $1 million a year in revenue. It was exciting times. Within another 6 months of us establishing our Christchurch base, our offices, my business partner quit his job, and we were both doing it full time. And we did that for over 7 years. Very exciting time. We ended up selling the business and doing different things. My business partner is now overseas and doing major international markets, trading overseas, and I've stayed in the industry. So I've gone kind of from merchant side and the early days of the Wild West of the internet. Then I went from there, I went to work for Exceed Online. Started there as an account manager, helping to, on the digital marketing team, supply services to our customers. And then really, from there, I moved up to a full-blown digital consulting role. So consulting right from the point a customer would come through the doors to the point where they went live with their project and beyond. So the reality is, I guess I've worked both sides of the fence. I've worked merchant side and I've worked agency side on multiple occasions now. and now I've just finished up at Exceed, and now I'm with HealthPost. So I guess I've been a practitioner. I've been working in digital at the Coalface for 14, 15, 16 years. So I guess that's in my mind, hopefully, that's what gives me some legitimacy, some experience, a voice of reason, a voice of actually speaking from the trenches. And in fact, I think I've really come to a conclusion that what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this series At the Coalface, because really it's at the coalface of work. It's in the trenches. It's doing the job day in, day out to make sure that you're telling that brand story in the marketplace. That every brand has a story. If it's trading, if it's doing business, every brand has a story, and it's that story that connects with people. It's not the products you carry, although they should be good products. Otherwise, you should probably do something else. It's not the services you provide, although those services should be very good. Otherwise, you should do something else. But if you've got good products, if you've got good services, and you've got a story, which everybody does have a story to tell, that's what your differentiator will be. And so for me, hopefully what I know based on experience and time in the industry, and seeing every type of business model you can imagine, and I guess seeing every type of technology that you can imagine that's been coming down the pipe down through over the last decade and a half. Hopefully that's going to bring some value to you, and it's my way of paying it forward. So this industry has given me a career. It's given me a career that I love. It's given me an absolute passion. I'm passionate about lots of things. I ride motorcycles. I play squash. I love to travel. I love to live rurally. We live rurally, and I love that lifestyle. I love to be self-sufficient. We have chickens, and we have a big garden, and we have cows, and so I love that whole self-sufficiency lifestyle. But I also love digital, and I love my career as well. So, I love health, nutrition, being active. And so for me, being able to marry up a couple of my passions in my day job has been a real, I guess, dream come true, and something that I never expected to happen at this late stage of my career. So it's very, very exciting to see. And I really want to pay it forward. I want to share some of those day-to-day experiences that I'm going through every day with you guys. So hopefully it'll make your life better, maybe make it a little bit richer, maybe make it a little bit easier, maybe make you a little more successful, maybe help you to decide to go into a digital career of some variety, and really better understand how business is done today, because it is done digitally. There is no separation anymore. It's a digital world. So hopefully this finds an audience somewhere. That's the idea. The goal here is to really, I don't want to just speak for the heck of it. It really is, the idea is to hopefully find a group of like-minded people that this will actually benefit, and then we can form a bit of a community around this type of content, and hopefully improve each other, as I've mentioned before. So really, that's me. That's the basics of me in a nutshell, from I guess more of a professional perspective than anything else. And hopefully this will become a long-standing, series of videos of day-to-day of what it's like to be in the trenches of digital and actually doing it, being a practitioner, doing what you say, trying new things. I'll be testing new things. I'll be testing new channels in terms of developing my own personal brand. I'll be trying lots of new things. I'll be trying lots of new social platforms. I'll be trying to change the format, the style, the editing, lots of things. I don't have a tremendous amount of spare time, so these videos are going to tend to be minimally edited. Hopefully, that's the idea. I want them to be real. They're just genuine me, as authentic as it gets. But we'll just try a bunch of different things, and we'll see where the audience is, and hopefully we can do some really good things together. Cheers, guys.